4 years ago today, I made a decision. I had heard that we tend to. I had heard that we tend to overestimate what we can do in 1 year, but we tend to underestimate what we can accomplish in five. So I decided that I was going to spend the next 5 years after that point getting to a point where I was paying all of my bills with my writing. That was the plan. I had just started a solid office job, and I decided that that was a good time to make that decision, to sort of embark on a plan where that was what my end goal was. So now I'm entering the fifth year. At the beginning of this year, I got laid off of that solid office job, thus kickstarting my my goal. Essentially, it was as if the universe sort of came down and poked me and said, "You were going a little bit slow. It's time for you to just move forward with the plan." Right? I had been doing a little bit of work. Well, little, quite. I'd been doing work to lay down a little bit of a foundation so that when I did sort of start this plan, I would be in a position where I wasn't just completely flailing. Um, that being said, this year has been odd so far. So here we are. This is November the 5th, 2019, and I have been not unemployed, but halfway towards being employed as a writer for a couple of months now. Um, by the end of the fifth year, unless strange things happen, I will be paying all of my bills with my writing. I will be a writer, professional writer. End of story. Full stop, as it were. That's today. It's a significant day for a handful of people, I think, because it's generally remembered in the U.S. as Election Day, the day upon which we demonstrate our interest in continuing to be free people. It is a day that tends to be misunderstood by all of us counterculture types as Guy Fawkes Day. Guy Fawkes Day is a real day, but our understanding of the significance of Guy Fawkes Day is probably misunderstood because of the V for Vendetta movie. Guy Fawkes was a much different historical figure than the V for Vendetta movie suggested. That being said, it was the sentiments that Guy Fawkes is remembered for are, as I understand it, historically more or less historically accurate. There was a a demonstration on the 5th of November of an interest and a will towards self governance and doing what you want. Well, in having a say in your own destiny, your own future. That's what I understand people think about when they think about Guy Fawkes, and that was kind of what Guy Fawkes and the dudes that he was hanging out with on the 5th of November, what they were thinking about. Gunpowder treason is more complicated than we remember. Point being, here we are on November the 5th. It's a day that tends to be remembered in the English-speaking world as a semi-significant day for self-realization and self-governance purposes in general. And it is a day that I decided to use as the anniversary for my big plans to do with myself what I would like to do with myself and what I'm good at. I have a lot of big things. I have a bunch of big things that are kind of in the works and are arriving soon. For today, I'm glad that I haven't starved. I'm glad that I've been paying rent. And I'm glad that my 5-year plan is sort of still alive, that I made this I made this promise to myself 4 years ago today, and have followed through, and I am 4 years further along towards something that I actually wanted to accomplish with my life. If there's a lesson to be learned from that, it's a big deal. If there's not a lesson, that's whatever too. Point being, I didn't want to underestimate what I could accomplish, and I didn't. And now I am using the one skill that I have to do something with this time that I have. It's not very pithy. It's not very excellent. It's not as said as it could be, but that's because I'm a writer, not a speaker. Good luck. Oh, Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday is Tears Day. It's the day of warriors. It's a day upon which we do brave things and remember that Tyr one-handed lost his hands to Fafnir, the Hell Wolf, because Tyr was the only one brave enough to stand still with the breath of Fafnir blowing down on him while the rest of the Aesir gods threw the chains over Fafnir and captured Fafnir so that he wouldn't continue ravaging the world. And as a result, Fafnir, who had been lied to, bit off Tyr's hand. And so Tyr went through the rest of his life as Tyr one-handed, thus proving that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stand still and accept what's going to happen next. So Tyr's Day. Today is Tuesday, a day upon which we remember to be brave.